Welcome all. I hope that you can see and hear me loud and clear. Before we are starting, I hope that you heard already the message that the session or the webinar will be recorded. So just one more time. And for all of the questions you might have, please write them to the chat and we will come to the questions in the last 15 minutes of this webinar. So we will already start. Today's topic is with Highspeed to the perfect product experience. And what is meant by this? Before we are going into it, just a brief info about myself so that you also know with whom who is speaking to you today. My name is Alessandro Kurzidin. I was 5 years in Styria Media AG as a product manager and video producer. I was also working for 2 years as a product owner and project manager for XIO for CMS on e-commerce solutions. And since almost 3 years, I'm here at CELUM running through the product owner, the product manager, and since beginning of December, I'm also CPO. So what we are talking today is what you already have seen, why you also hopefully here is workrooms. What is workrooms? How people are really using workrooms? What are the advantages? What are the benefits? And before we're really going into all of the details, and I really tried to make the slides as short as possible and really focus on use cases, what we see from our customers on a daily basis, I just want to start with what does a typical briefing looks like. So maybe the one or the other of you knows the situation, then at least you have something to laugh. But let's be frank, this is not how reality should be. So we have Melanie, and Melanie, she is in the marketing department. She has a supervisor with Veronica. And then we have Gernot. Gernot is the designer. We have Timo. Timo is the texter. And what is happening right now? Veronica has a briefing for Melanie. She wants to get a new brochure and she needs new photos and she needs to get new texts. So what is Melanie is doing? She's sending out the briefing via email to Gernot and Timo. The two agree, or the three agree, that they need to schedule a meeting to clarify it and to prepare a concept. The concept is quite fine. So Gernot, Timo, and Melanie are satisfied with it, and Melanie is sending the first draft of the concept to Veronica via Outlook. Veronica has some questions. Nevertheless, she's satisfied with the concept, but she's asking her questions via Microsoft Teams. What is happening then? Melanie is going to the kitchen because there's the coffee machine, and on the way to the coffee machine, she meets Gernot. And instead of putting it to a single point of truth or a source, she's asking Gernot all of the things which Melanie was asking. So what is then happening? Gernot is already start briefing the photographer because, as I said in the beginning, they need some new photographs. The photographer takes the images and is sending them via a Dropbox link to Gernot. Gernot is forwarding those images via Microsoft Teams to Melanie. Melanie is checking out a first assumption from her, so the photos she would like to see in the brochure. She's sending those again via Microsoft Teams and the Dropbox link to Veronica. The two will schedule a meeting and they are discussing which photos really should be taken. What is happening then? Melanie is saving them on an internal driver and she's sending the link of the internal driver via Microsoft Teams again to Gernot. Afterwards, Gernot is already discussing the texts, how they can fit based on the layout with Timo. And Gernot is preparing the first draft and is sending this to Melanie. So what is Melanie doing right now? Because it also needs to be compliant. This is one of the most important things. She's sending it to Johan. Johan is the lawyer of the company and she's sending him the draft again via an email. And Johan is satisfied with it. He says that it is compliant. Nevertheless, he has some questions which he's asking Melanie via Microsoft Teams. So this is really a really quite easy process. And if this really would run in that many loops, everyone would be pleased, but that's not reality. What I really tried here is to show you how in reality it looks like to really collaborate with people, how to get all of the things straight, that you really have a single point of truth. Therefore, the next slide is something which is for me quite important. When we think about that we are working 40 hours a week, how much time we are spending with just corresponding to emails. There's still many people also internally who are writing emails, even though we have Slack or we have Teams or we have other tools for the collaboration where we're really just chatting and texting. 19% of our time, we are simply just tracking down information for our internal processes. And last but not least, with 14%, we just have the internal collaboration, how to get things straight, how we want to collaborate, and so on. And this is absolutely not the aim. We want to have things transparent and we want to raise the efficiency. So in the end, and this is what is also stated here, with CELUM, marketing teams create, manage, and route perfect content for perfect product experience. Because this way of briefing, this is how everything is starting, that you come to the result, because we're really, every one of us is result driven. We want to have the best product experience for our customers, for the end users, that they see the products, they have all of the needed information, that they click on the button, buy it. This is what we want to achieve, because this is where we get our revenues and this is where we get our profits. So the question is, what is Workrooms? A couple of you might already know it, a couple of you maybe already use it, but there are still plenty of people who have not heard about Workrooms and they're still not using it. So what we tried there, and I'm already coming to the end of my slides, is we tried to have a new and simple way of how you can collaborate and define your projects. At the same time, we also try to come to one of the most important things, and this is an approval. Right now, you saw in this process with Melanie, it is so hard to get an approval. You have so many ways of communicating to people, and in the end, all she wanted is to get a yes for the new brochure and the concept. Then we also try to streamline the creative processes by simply just using one tool. We have workflows, we have automations with robots. I will come to them in a second. And last but not least, we also know that many of those things are still used on your local file system, and therefore we also try to offer an enterprise-grade file syncing with CELUM Drive. So question right now is, what is in it for Melanie? And let's already come to the prepared use cases. So for instance, one of our customers who are using it, and this doesn't mean that it reflects 100% of how the customer is really using it. For me, it's just important to give you an overview. And how does it look like? The use case is, I want to get the selection. I want to get the yes or a no. So for class, you see already they have these fancy machines on the field. And what is happening for them? They have a photographer. The photographer takes a couple of images directly on the field. The people can upload the new images directly to a workroom via CELUM Drive, or simply just enter workrooms.celum.com, adding the photos to the workroom, and then the selection process starts. The process, how it should work to get an approval, is already predefined. And then the marketing manager who is responsible for the selection, he is simply just with one click moving a task where the file is attached to the task list selection or to the task list rejected. He has also the option of leaving some visual feedback with annotations to it. And in the end, once it runs through the process and it gets the yes, it is selected, it automatically gets exported to CELUM Content Hub, so to the digital asset management tool. And how this looks like is something I want to show you with the following video because I already prepared them, and this is what I want to show you right now. So the first thing, what we see here is I'm in Content Hub and I have already defined the collection for class selected assets. Right now I'm in Workrooms and I see here on the right side that I'm uploading all of those files via CELUM Drive. I see that it is syncing, and once it is uploaded, those files will be also displayed here in a predefined workroom. So this is my project with class selection. I also see that I have other people who are collaborating with me. And one of the people who is strongly collaborating here with me is Igor Toplak. He is my marketing manager. The taskboard is at the moment also empty. When I go to files, then I see that in the meantime, already all of the files have been uploaded. So what I'm doing here right now is simply I'm selecting them. I create a task out of them. And I have two options. I'm choosing the option that I want every task, every file is on one task. And I see here that the robot kicks in, and the robot has right now assigned people, and he has set a due date to all of those tasks. My collaboration starts also right now. I'm asking my colleague, please select the files with whom you want to work for your brochure. So I'm asking Igor, please select the ones you really like. Right now, I see that on my taskbar I have 3 lists. I can also change the grid. I have a 2 grid, a 3 grid appearance, whatever suits me and what helps me having a better overview. I see that Igor has already done it. That's the reason why the snack bar also appears. And right now, I also see in the CELUM app that everything is right now up to date. Clicking the snack bar with refreshing will then also show me all of the latest changes which my colleague has done in the background. This is what will happen to all of you at any time. Also here right now, I'm hovering over the robots. This is what I was mentioning. I have a couple of options with robots, what can be done. So here is, for instance, when a task is moved to the task is selected, then export the task content to the referencing collection in Content Hub, which is this collection you're seeing here right now. So right now it is empty, and once I move it, let's refresh the page, I see that those 3 images are approved by Igor, so the field and the heavy machine. When I refresh it, then I will see right now it changes, and they are also right now visible in my Content Hub. And this is then how easy it is to take workrooms with all of its robots and simply just get the approval. It is also defined here that when a task is moved to this task list, then please unassign all of the people, and also please remove the due date. It is not needed anymore. And also I have defined a couple of other robots, what you will see in the other processes. For instance, here you also see that it is not possible to create more tasks in selected or rejected, and it is only possible in the first task list, because this is for me how the process should look like. I don't want that people simply just create new tasks when it is not needed. This was the first use case. This was really the first part of how the connection between simply just getting a selection between workrooms and Content Hub looks like. Let's go to the second use case. The second use case is in the field of the Fmcg. What I want to achieve here right now is I want to get an approval, and I want that an asset is getting moved from a source collection to another collection. And for those of you who already know it, or who are using workrooms, we have already the so-called flow boards, where you simply just can start on a collection in Content Hub and run the process through workrooms, where we have right now the add to capability. But right now it goes beyond this, because it's really that we are offering the real movement from one collection to other collections. So it's also not restricted just to one. And how does this process right now looks like? What I want to demonstrate you. We have a workflow which is started Content Hub side. I have again already predefined a workroom in Workrooms, where I have my workflow. And I have then again the marketeers and the designers who are collaborating on all of the tasks and all of the assets. And in this process, I will also show you how it looks like when I leave some visual feedback with annotations. And once a file gets approved or it gets rejected, it will also be moved to the desired collection in Content Hub. So let's have a look on this, how this looks like. Also here, I already prepared something upfront for you that it is easier to follow. The process is starting in Content Hub, and I see right now that I have with O2 3 collections. I have a source collection. You see it here. I have 5 assets in this collection. I have a collection for approved, and I have a collection for rejected. In the approved collection, I have no asset right now. The same goes for rejected. Also here is no asset. And here I have those 5 assets. And what I want to achieve is I want that the source collection is empty and everything is moved. So I'm starting the process. I'm exporting those 5 assets to workrooms. I see that I can create a new workroom, or I can take already predefined workroom. Let's take the Fmcg approval process. I'm exporting the assets to them, and I see they are right now imported to workrooms. Also here, I see that I have a couple of people with whom I'm collaborating. When I'm going back to the file tab, or in this case, the tasks, I see that also my task board is empty and I have already some robots predefined. So for instance, when a task is moved to this task list, then please assign it to the task list owner. Or when a task is moved here, take the date which is defined on the task list. When I'm going back to the file tab, I see all of the assets. And what I can do right now is I'm simply just taking them. I'm creating a task out of them. I see which options I have. I put them to the to be selected task list. And right now I see that all of the tasks are created and the file is attached. Again, here I can select all of them and I push them to in progress. I see already that my process is defined and I cannot move them further than to the task list in progress. It is restricted. This is defined by the moderator. And the next step is then really I'm taking the task where the file with the cheese is, for instance, attached. Again, I can also change the grid that they have everything at one glance, which really helps me. It makes my life easier. And just to see how easy it works, we have the so-called workroom designer. And in this designer, you see it already here. I have a super easy, straightforward, no code workflow process. And I see all of the transitions for all of the task lists. Like I said, it is a quite easy Kanban board. And I can define with a couple of clicks how the perfect process should look like. So I select here right now in progress. It can be one directional or it can be bidirectional. This is what I'm defining here. You also see here plenty of robots which I already have defined and how I'm executing it. For instance, here you see that when a task is moved to the task is approved, then move the files to the collection Fmcg approved in Content Hub. Everything is transparent. Everyone who is collaborating here is aware of what is happening. So I see right now, Igor, my colleague, has already moved the first task to in approval. And let's open this. He's asking if I'm fine with that. I'm personally not fine with this image. So let's have a look on it. I don't like it. That's too colorful for me. So what I'm doing, I'm just leaving some visual feedback. This is just an example. And I'm telling Igor that I don't like this and I would like to see another version from him. So I can also tag him, then he will get an email notification. He will also see what I was saying there. And I can also click on my comment, then the annotation gets visible. So what is happening in the next step? I'm waiting that Igor takes care of this. In the meantime, I really just can also have a look on the other task. I'm just waiting that he's done. Igor has right now pushed also other tasks to in approval. So I see right now 3 tasks in approval: the paprika, the cheese, and the cauliflower. And right now, let's have a look on the cheese. I see this Parmesano Reggiano, and for me, this is perfect. I'm approving it. And what I see here right now is the task is moved to approved, and the robot kicks in. And the most important thing is, with this robot, it is right now moved to the target collection in Content Hub. At the same time, I also see right now that I still have 2 tasks where my approval is needed. So let's also have then a look on them. I'm just waiting that also the other tasks are being moved. One more time, back in Content Hub, we have seen right now that the Parmesano Reggiano was approved and it is moved. It is no longer in the source collection. This is one of the new improvements. So it is gone. And this is exactly what people want to achieve. It should be in the desired collection. So let's check out one more time the paprika. So Igor has updated a newer version. Right now, I see only those 4. I also see the previous version. I can also compare them if needed. So I see the newer version, I see the old version. I'm simply just replying then to Igor. I will do it on another place. So I will close this comparing view. I will go back to the task comment where Igor has asked me, and I also can reply to him. And this is quite easy, just writing perfect. And again, I'm approving it. The task with the attached file is moved to the task is approved. Let's have a look right now on the 3 others. I see the potatoes. For the potatoes, I don't like them. I reject them. They are also right now moved in Content Hub, but to a different collection. I also see this here. Right now, the vegetables, I approve them. And the cauliflower, I don't like the cauliflower. This should go to rejected. So the tool tells me, thank you, your job is done, congratulations. 3 tasks in approved, 2 tasks in rejected. Let's have a look one more time on the robots. It again tells me when a task is moved here, people are getting unassigned, the duty is getting removed. So this is empty again, it doesn't show up on the cockpit anymore. And I see cheese, paprika, vegetables are in approved, and they are right now also in Content Hub in the desired collection. This is what I see here. Same goes for the potatoes and the cauliflower. They are rejected and they showing up in the rejected collection. And the source is, like promised, empty. And there's nothing what else needs them to be done by the people. This is how handy we try to give people the chance of simply just approving something and moving it to the desired collection in Content Hub. Then we have another example, and this is more our internal example. So we have seen right now in the first use case, we want to get an selection, simply just a yes or no. In the second one, we wanted to get an approval and the movement in Content Hub. Right now, it is how many marketing teams are working, and I just took us as an example because we also have a marketing. We have already a desired collection in Content Hub, and our marketeers and designers just importing the current state. Quite often it's simply just updating some existing assets, and we want to get a newer version to it. And I will show you right now an example with a brochure where we want just to update it to 2022, because we know, okay, a couple of things will be outdated by the end of this year, but they need to be up to date for the next year. So also here, the process is starting in Content Hub. The process can also start in Workrooms. You can also import directly from Workrooms to Content Hub. So right now, I just want to demonstrate how it looks like on Content Hub side. And I see those 2 assets. So I have 2 flyers, and they are already in my desired collection, CELUM Marketing and Design. And I will start right now the process. So I will take one of these assets and I simply just export this asset to Workrooms. And instead of taking it to an existing Workroom, I will right now create a new Workroom, and I will also show you how easy it is to set up everything. I have some templates. I'm choosing right now a predefined template. I will change the name. So the name should be, for me, this is the brochure approval. So let's just write it. And once I have done this, I can already invite people. So I will take my colleague Igor. He is already part of my organization. I see the task board. I can define the robot. This is what I want to achieve right now. So I take Content Hub. I have, when a task with the imported content files is moved to the task is approved, then, and this is the new thing, update the existing asset in Content Hub. No movement, just update it with the latest version. I just take right now this one robot. I will also show you one more time how easy it is to also prepare an already given template with the process I need. So I just rename it. I will also create a new task list for in progress. I easily can change the color, move it to the second position. All of the changes are reflected also in the process below. You see that there's always something happening. I will right now just remove a couple of transitions and add new transitions. So right now, for me, it's from new to in progress. I want to have it bidirectional, that I also can move it back. Then from in progress to approval, to approval to the other one, it is simply just an also bidirectional. We see everything what I have configured or what was already in the template here visible. I am right now fine with the process. Let's collapse it. Let's check one more time the title and let's kick it off. When I hit right now create, I see that the asset is getting imported to the workroom. I'm already redirected to the file tab. This takes right now a second. Let's wait for it. Here it is. So let's go back one more time to the asset. Since I have done this on the daemon environment, the rendering takes a little bit longer. On production, it is definitely faster, just that you know. And right now I can start really working on my process. Let's wait that the processing of the annotation is done. I will assign this to my colleague Igor. I will tag him here on the task, and I will let him know that he please should update this brochure with newer images, and I also want to see newer images from him. So right now, let's close this task. I'm waiting that Igor is right now start working on it. This is right now happening in the background. So let's give him a second. Also here, you can subscribe to any workroom. So when I click right now, subscribe with CELUM Drive, I will get this workroom with all of its files to my local machine with just one click. I don't have to do anything else. The only thing what is my precondition is I need to have the CELUM app installed upfront. When I hit right now subscribe, then I will also show you how this looks like in the CELUM app in a second. Okay, right now I see Igor has already done his job. We come later to the CELUM app. Igor has right now attached 2 images where he wants to get my approval if I would like them to take them in the new brochure. I see here right now the screen here. This is something where we want to communicate the new CELUM Drive. This looks fine to me, so I will open the task. I can leave a comment here for Igor. I could also right now reply, but I have both options, leaving a new comment or simply just replying to my already existing comment. So Igor is right now aware of it. He needs to do his job right now. He needs to create a new version, and then the process can proceed. So one more time, I will show you here right now CELUM Drive, and I see, okay, brochure approval, latest changes where I'm working is not in sync anymore. This means Igor has right now done something. So let's also have a look on this. It should be right now at the latest state. That also the task is right now ready for my approval. I see Igor has moved it. It is in the task list approval. So when I open the task, then I see the comment brochure is updated. Thank you, Igor. I also received an email notification that I know something has happened. Let's open it. Takes a second that it loads. And right now I can go through it. On page number 3, I see the screen, which I was showing you a couple of seconds ago. I also see the new version, and let's compare it. Let's also see what has changed. This doesn't work not only for images, it works for any kind of document, what we are currently offering. I link them that I easily can browse through both at the same time. So page number 2, page number 3, and I see on the left side is the new one, it is green, and on the right side there is nothing green. The left one is the correct one. This is exactly what I wanted to achieve. Thanks Igor for updating it. I will right now approve it, and what is happening right now is it gets exported to Content Hub, and just the latest version, it is still in Content Hub where the asset was stored. So I see it here, I simply just refresh it. I see that also the rendering gets updated. So it takes a second, but I already see here all of my changes. And once it is uploaded and the rendition is rendered, I already see here, it's also green, which was back then not green. And this is how handy it is also for us, that we have a single point of truth where all of our assets are stored. And we take workrooms, as many of our customers, simply just for updating existing assets, but they don't need to be moved. So just to give you an overview, what is already happening. The existing features are the agile collaboration with Kanban boards, with commenting, with the file versioning, with personal cockpit, and the custom workroom templates. At the same time, we are also offering the on improving. We have the review and approve. We have the comparing of files, what you have seen. We have the annotations on images, videos, audio, and any kinds of other documents. We have the workflow and automation with the custom workflows, the multi-stage approval process, the visual workflow designer, and the robots. CELUM Drive is also ready and up to use. And also since 2-3 months, we are also offering the 3D support in Workrooms. So you can also upload all of these files. And for the new features, this is something what is planned in the beginning of 2022. This is why I also did this demonstration right now with videos, because there's some things which are still in the development phase. We will have an enhanced integration between Workrooms and Content Hub. We will have the capability of really moving assets from one collection to another collection. We will have this update of the asset version, so the last use case. We will also offer importing of collections from Content Hub to Workrooms. We will have more robots, because we already have a couple of robots, but we are extending them because we see how handy they are and how well they are used. We will also have reply to comments and showing already the comment or the reply in the email. We will also have the capability of adding a priority to a task, because this is also quite crucial. Not everything is important, but with this thing, you simply just can show, hey, this is important, this is a blocker, please have a look on it immediately. We will have download of comments to PDF and many other smaller UX improvements I don't want to list here. So how can you use it and what is in for you all? You can start using it for free with a couple of standard capabilities with the free plan. So simply just go to celum.com, check out the pricing page, and when you click there on one of the free, the try for free for the Pro, the Enterprise Lite or so, you simply just can start using it. And if you're already a customer of us or you have any further questions, please don't hesitate, get in touch with us, get in touch with your account manager, and we are pleased to show you everything what is needed and also to help you setting it up if needed. And that's already the end by today. So I really tried to be in time so that we also have still some time for your questions, if there's some questions, and let's have a look on them right now.
Hi, here's the voice from the off. I'm going through the questions we received. Well, I'll start with the first one. How many user can I actually invite into a workroom? Is there a limit?
So there's not really a limit. We have tested it right now with couple of hundred or so, but a workroom is more like a project. So it really depends how your organization is right now staffed. You will have your own organization, so your tenant, and this tenant, you can have hundreds or thousands of users. And in a workroom, it always depends on how many people you really want to collaborate with. I would say most of the time, a workroom is between 5 to maximum 20 people.
Okay. Question related to the first one. Can I also invite people from? Can I also invite external people? So people who are not working in my organization to a workroom?
Yes, yes, and this is one of the main purposes for workrooms. So it's quite handy. You simply just go to the people tab when you're a moderator of the workroom. Then you can invite all existing people in the organization, and you also have the chance simply just entering the email address of external people. So when it comes to a person of an agency you're collaborating with, you simply just invite this person. Person receives an email, clicks on accept, creates his user, and can start immediately working in the workroom. And this person has then also just access to this workroom. In the future, if you want that this person is also participating in another workroom, it is already part of the organization. By entering 3 characters, the person will be already suggested. Click on it and start collaborating immediately.
Perfect. You mentioned the workroom owner. Is there a hierarchy available within the workroom, or?
So from the hierarchy or the permission, we try to be there quite lean. So we have a moderator. So we have 2 static roles. Let's try to explain it this way. A static role is a moderator. This is the person who can maintain the whole process. This person is responsible for inviting people, promoting other people also as moderator, taking care of the whole process. And then we have simply just contributors. And a contributor are people who just get work done. They are working, this can be designers, this can be marketeers. They are running just through, they're running their task through this workroom. And something which is specific for us, which nobody else has, is a so-called task list owner. This is a dynamic role. I can say that one person or multiple people are responsible for one task list, for moving tasks to another task list, or editing the tasks which are in this task list. This is something what we have seen in the past is, yeah, really, it has a huge impact for our people, because they have strict processes, and for them it is important that just person number 1 and person number 3 are allowed moving a task from task list A to task list B, and this helps them a lot. And this is more or less everything what we have. It is really super lean. The moderator, the contributor, and optionally the task list owner if needed.
Okay, thank you. Question from Alexander. Can one account work for several customers? Can we do picture researches for several customers via our workflow account, or shall we set up one account each?
So what you can do, you would create one user account. So for instance, if your email address would be maxmustermann@agency.com, you can be part of organization 1. Organization 1 can be, for instance, class, and you can also participate in organization 2. Organization 2 could be, I'm just looking at my iPhone, it can be Apple, and you you would see only where you have access to. So you can see for class 2 workrooms where you're part of. So you were invited to those workrooms. And for Apple, you would see 15 workrooms because you are collaborating and contributing to those 15. And that is absolutely fine. For us internal, I have many tenants. So a tenant is, like I said, an organization where I can participate, but I always just see the workrooms where I'm a member of. So this is also secure that you don't see any other things where you're not part of.
So one company can set up numerous organizations. So if I have numerous customers, for example, I can set up an organization for each customer and invite the customers there, and then set up my workrooms within those different organizations, but within my account.
Yes, I mean there are different ways. You can see it from this perspective. It can be also that you simply just have one organization, and in this organization you're structuring then your work by workrooms. This can be then customer 1 workroom name, customer 2 workroom name, again customer 1 workroom name, or it could also be possible to create different organizations based on customers. It really depends what fits to your needs.
Mm-hmm. Then question into the future of workrooms. When will it be possible to edit CR3 files in workrooms? Is this planned?
So can you repeat the question?
When will it be possible to edit CR3 files in workrooms?
I don't have right now respond to this. This would need to be checked. We have a process of how new features can be requested. We would need to take a look on it. Right now, it is not planned.
Okay. We've got a little bit time left. Which robots are there at the moment? Is there a list of robots? Where do I find what kind of robots are there?
Yes, we have already a couple of robots. So we have started with the robots last year, and we have robots already for Content Hub. So for this simple exporting, when a task with an attached file is moved from one task list to another, please export it to Content Hub. This is one robot. We have the robot for the whole assignment process. So this means when a task is moved to this task list, please assign it to this person. It can be also the so-called task list owner, which is responsible for the whole task list. It can be also this unassignment, what I was showing, because we saw so often in software development, it is one of the given things that you assign people to tasks, that you have clear responsibility. For marketers and designers, in some cases, they also handle it that way, but quite often when something is done, the person still is assigned. So we also have the robot for please unassign all of the people once it is in this task list. The same goes for the due date. You can take some due date, some fixed due date, or just a period. Please set the due date always to X days in advance once it is moved to this task list, or really just get rid of the due date. We have with the robot also the task list owner. We have as a robot for restricting the task creation in a specific task list, and a couple of more robots. And right now, with this new deployment in beginning of 2022, we will have further robots when it comes to the Content Hub integration, especially with this move of assets and updating the existing asset in Content Hub.
Cool. And one last question is, where do I see my tasks?
Valid question. This is one of the things which I have right now not displayed, but we have a quite handy cockpit. And on this cockpit view, so this is just when you enter workrooms, you will see all of your tasks. And let me try to share it. I hope you see my screen right now. I would see all of my projects. So I can also group all of those projects. Right now, I have, for me, a group for webinar. I have here demos. I have my standard my standard group with ungrouped workrooms. So I could easily create there something new. And here are all of my tasks where I'm responsible for. And I see it because I'm assigned to those tasks. I also see here right now the priority. And I also see a due date, and shame on me, all of them are already in the past and I should have done them already. But this is then really the place where I see all of them. I can order them by priority, so that the blockers are on top. I can order them by due date, by name, whatever suits me.
Perfect. So we've got a dashboard where I can see if I'm late or if I've been a good worker and have completed all my tasks on time.
Exactly. So you should be better than I am.
Trying to. So, but I guess that was it question-wise.
Perfect. And we would be in time, just 1 minute over.
Also, we've been good.
No, it's 2.
So thank you very much for attending today's webinar, and we hope to see you soon, maybe in January, where we introduce our new online event series, the CELUM Exclusive Insights. So stay tuned for more information. And
thank you all.
course,
take care.
Have a lovely Christmas time.
Yes. See you. Bye-bye.